You've probably heard us talk a fair bit around here, around CCLF, about the one church events, one church gatherings, etc. That is the group of churches, or maybe a better way to put it is a group of congregations together on the same team, got our differences, but we're fighting toward one goal, and that is to glorify God in our little town and to see our town impacted for Christ. But let's talk about the local church for a bit. What it means to be part of a local church. Why is that important? Do you have to be an official member, or can you just be a regular attender? Is that a big deal? Well, first of all, you don't have to be a official member where you get a little certificate or a card that you show at the gate of heaven. You don't need that. You can just be a regular attender. In fact, if you're a Christian, you are a member of the body of Christ. We've had people who are regular attenders, very much part of us, that have been so for like 22 years. Never really became a member though, because they never really felt they needed to. And that's totally okay. For us though, being a member of a local church, it is important for a couple of reasons, besides kind of the governmental thing and that all our leadership comes out of the committed membership. Those two reasons are accountability and advantage. Hebrews 13:17 says this: obey your leaders and submit to them, for they are keeping watch over your souls as those who will have to give an account. Eek. Let them do this with joy, not with groaning, for that would be of no advantage to you. And so it talks about expectations, responsibilities, accountability, and advantage to you. The writer says that there's an expectation of obedience and submission to your leaders, because they will give an account for watching your souls before God. That's a big deal. That's a weighty thing. Your leaders. Does that mean you have to submit to every leader of every church in your area? Does that, as a leader, do I have to give an account for the souls of every person that's part of a congregation in 100 Mile? The answer to both those things is no. That would just be kind of silly. So the practical part of that verse, as though it doesn't actually say be a member, it assumes that there is some accountability in relationship, and membership gives that. By being a member, you are saying that you recognize the leadership that God has placed in that particular church, and you're saying you're actually tucking in under it. You're saying that you say yes to that leadership and that you're willing to submit and to obey. And for the leader, it says that you, my friend, are going to have to give an account before God for the person's souls that are below you. If they're committed to you as being in such a role as a leader, I say below and above. It's just gift and calling. But if you're putting yourself in that position as a leader, then you got to take that on, that you're going to give an account for people's souls. Unless you give me an authority to speak into your life, I don't have it. I got no place to speak into your life unless you willingly give that to me in such a manner. We can't operate in church discipline if there ever to be such a need for it. If you're not a member, it's like, well, I got no say. But if you give me that place, then yes, we do have a say as the elders. So in one sense, the verse is actually very important, because for accountability for both the member and the leader, it says that the accountability for the members is that you give that place to the leader. But for the leader, it's like you have an accountability before God for that person's soul. That's actually pretty heavy duty for anyone who wants to be a leader. And it's actually quite freeing that God puts the weight upon the leaders and not the people who are being the member. If someone in good conscience submits their self to a particularly an authority, particular authority at a particular place, of ones that they consider these are my leaders, and the leaders there get it wrong before God, who's the one that God's going to come after? The leaders, the shepherds, etc. He's not going after the sheep in that sense. So there's that freedom there, but there's more there. It says, let them do this, let the members do this, or the people that are submitting, do it with joy. So there will be a joy for the leaders, not a groaning. That would be of no advantage to you. So it's an advantage to you if you do so with joy and accountability. There's joy there for you. But how can a member make it a joy for the leader and not groaning? I think it has a lot to do with posture of humility, posture of attitude. When we have people come in and pray, get the elders to pray for them, the posture that they're putting themselves in is a beautiful thing, because we really got nothing, but they're recognizing God's authority and position, and they're placing themselves in there, and it's a beautiful thing. I had a dream recently, though, about baby badgers, and these beautiful, cute little baby badgers were amazing in my lap, so to speak. And then I saw the mama. These little guys grow up to be quite ferocious with big teeth, and so I'm like, well, I guess you can be a badger, or you can be a blessing. Which would be the most advantage to you? Would it be advantageous to you to be a blessing? Absolutely. Advantageous to be a badger? Maybe in the moment, but not in the long run. Let's be a blessing.